Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Baked Disney, the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. I'm your host, David. That's my short wife, Liz. And we gave you guys, yesterday we gave you guys an assignment. Find or decide on, pick your favorite attraction, which is probably easy for most people.
Yeah, totally.
Our favorite attractions are easily determined. I have two. I had to go to my B attraction today, but we'll get to that. Choose your favorite attraction, then find a way to make it better. And that's what we're doing here in New Orleans Square right now, because we've arrived at Liz's favorite attraction, which is behind us somewhere back there. I don't know where my camera's pointing.
It's right there.
The Haunted Mansion.
Yes, it is my favorite ride ever.
She's a nerd for ghosts. She's a nerd for scary stuff. She's a nerd for horror films, that kind of thing.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So naturally, her favorite attraction is the Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
Tell us, why is Haunted Mansion your favorite?
I remember as a kid going into the elevator and just the hanging man was just it was scary. It scared the living crap out of me when I was younger, but I was so intrigued, like, why is this so scary? And then just throughout the whole ride, you know, like the candle thing is my favorite thing, where it's just moving by itself. I really thought there was a ghost there when I was a child. And till this day, I really want sometimes to have like a really like ghostly experience because of the Haunted Mansion. So all around, it's a great one of the best rides here, in my opinion.
Well, what we're gonna do, Liz, is we're gonna go on Haunted Mansion right now.
Cool.
We're gonna take the fancy camera with us.
Cool.
And then when we come out, I want you to try to figure out a way. What would you do to make the Haunted Mansion better?
I can do that.
Let's go. I've lost Liz. Sometimes I have to pick up that perfect shot when you come in, and in the process, she's gonzers. Hi, honey.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's okay. You didn't know what I was doing.
This is also my favorite as a kid.
Do you know that was an accident?
Yes, because of your video.
Yeah, they hadn't intended to do that. That was a Tony Baxter thing.
Oh, really?
That was his idea.
And obviously, my whole life, I really thought the ride was inside the house. So.
Right up until I told you it wasn't in the video.
I was like, no, for real. Because of your video, I was like, what? We don't really go in through the house?
Light bulb. You know, it was always supposed to be that way. I thought that was... Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi.
Love from the Bay Area.
All right. The idea of going below ground, under the berm, and into a show building was always part of the plan, always part of the design, even when it was designed to be a walkthrough attraction, which is, yeah, I didn't know that until recently.
It's just like sardines. Some of you smell already. To view the portraits above our halls, kindly drag your bodies away from the walls. Now step directly into the dead center of the room.
Your cadaverous manner betrays an aura of foreboding, almost as though you sense a disquieting metamorphosis.
Oh wow, packed house, huh?
We spirits haunt our best in gloomy darkness. Boundless realm of the supernatural. Take your loved ones by the hand, please.
I never noticed the cauldron back there.
Oh, really?
No. Go ahead.
Permanecerá sentado. y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo y cuide a los pequeñitos. Y ahora, prepárese.
Unlivable here in this ghostly retreat. Every room has mountains of creeps and hot and cold running chills. Listen. We have been unaware.
Rap Quality. It's time to respond. Send us a message from somewhere beyond. Goblins and ghoulies from last Halloween.
Be sure to bring your death certificate if you decide to join us. Make final arrangements now. We will.
Somewhere behind those, what do they call those weepy looking little trees? Not, I forget what they call it, like Spanish moss almost. Somewhere behind those is the Haunted Mansion that we just enjoyed.
Yeah.
Almost faultless. It's a really great ride. It's much like Pirates in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's,
that's my second favorite.
it's almost perfection. But the task is, how do you make it better? What would you do to improve Haunted Mansion? Because there's got to be something.
Well, now that I'm older and
You're so old.
no, you know what I mean. Like now that I've
not a child?
observed more. Yeah, I'm not a child. Hi guys. You know how Nightmare Overlay has that beautiful big like what's that word I'm looking for? It's like all the characters right there.
Oh yeah, the opening like it's a montage.
Montage
sort of.
kind
it's a
of
collage maybe.
Collage. There's another word I can't think of it. But I love how they fill that dead space. And
that is. You're right. Why do they do it there?
Right.
But not.
I just wish
not
we
Haunted
had
Mansion
something like on like scenic, like maybe make that
They
like
just have that blue lighting, that sort of
and it's, like,
ethereal.
smoky, you know, like why can't we have like a hallway or like right when you do enter, you know, because we go down the hallway, like why can't it be like a living room? We know we had the ballroom scene, but I just want something.
Yeah.
And then I love Madame Leota's room. I just wish more was happening.
But it was funny you mentioned that because on this particular occasion, I heard something that I had never heard before. It was just a sound effect, kind of like
Was it a growl?
kind of a scream almost. It was this sort of, it's the kind of sound you'd hear in a horror film, like to build tension, like a pulling, not a scream.
Like
it was
a screech, kind of like a
right, but it wasn't animate. It was the sound you can make from, let's say, a fiddle.
Send us a message from somewhere beyond.
You know, if you like in Devil Went Down to Georgia, there's that part, the fiddle part where it just kind of like this.
Is there an instrument that?
Well, that's true. They are in the instrument room.
Yeah.
I mean, there are the whole.
So you may have heard one of the instruments.
Maybe
I'm trying to
that's
think
what I heard.
What would it be?
A fiddle. Maybe it was a fiddle.
Maybe there is. I've got to look back and see if there is one there.
But right, that's very dark.
It's very dark, and you can't really see.
I'm not sure how crazy I am about the tarot cards floating around. Or no, that's the other one.
No, that's
the instruments. I mean.
Yeah, it's
that
like
doesn't make any
more
sense to me.
instruments, or just really like highlight the instruments when they're up there, like
That would
more
be
of like a
good place
black light or purple light, you know.
It'd be a good place to put actual ghosts.
I would love some actual ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like how we have in the ballroom scene. I would love a little bit more. Or like maybe just like faces. Like
Ghosts
kind of,
you know, floating up out of whatever, out of the ground or something,
yeah,
like a projection
anything.
of some
I just
kind.
like, there's just so much, like, obviously I know it has to be dark, because it's a haunted mansion, but have fun, like with more shadows. Like we have like the hand that goes over the
over
clock.
the clock, yeah.
That's more of that.
The demon clock.
Yeah,
I love the demon clock.
Me too.
Yeah.
So that, and then also, can I please have back my heart beating?
Your old bride.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think.
She really ruins it for me.
I don't know why they chose to do that. Why they made her
like hieroglyphically weird.
Well, there's that. The projection thing.
I don't like the projection.
Don't like the projection, but I don't like the fact that she's now like a Black Widow bride.
Yeah, she's like the villain of the haunted
She's
mansion.
a killer instead of a victim.
I liked her as a victim in her spooky blue face, and she, like, you could just hear her heart. That used to scare me out of everything as a child. She was the thing that kept me like, why is she so scary?
Yeah.
But then now we have the Hatbox Ghost, which is fantastic. But that I would want more like pretty much from like the ballroom scene on, it's perfection.
Yeah.
Pretty much getting onto the Doom Buggy is perfection, but it's like that middle part, right? Like Madame Leota and then a little bit of the beginning.
Well,
I would like more.
Speaking of trains coming by, you might have noticed, you might have heard that train going by. This is, just last week I had kind of mentioned that Big Thunder is my favorite ride. It's kind of a 1A, 1B situation, but we just went on Big Thunder last week, so I figured I'm going to take my 1B. The Disneyland Railroad is my favorite attraction.
So let me guess. So you like Big Thunder's your first.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Casey Jr.
Yeah, I like trains. I love trains.
So much like Walt Disney.
So we're gonna, I know. Definitely. And go ahead and put the monorail on there too, which is kind of a modern train.
Yeah.
I do love the monorail. But yeah, so we're gonna ride the train, and I'm gonna try to see if I can't find, because this is pretty much perfection for me. So this is gonna be hard.
I already know one that.
This is gonna be hard.
Yeah, I'm just like, can we do something? Can we fix this?
All right.
Well, we're actually.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear on their fun-filled adventures. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see.
I feel like we're missing the
Yeah, we are.
soundtrack again.
There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below.
Again, I think I rather like it without it.
People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness.
That was perfection.
Then step carefully from the train. Have fun and say hi to Mickey and Minnie for me.
Once again, folks, remain seated until the train comes to it. Hold complete stop. Once again, this will be a great stop if you're trying to find spots for the 3:30 viewing of Mickey's Soundscape Parade. Thanks for joining us today on the Disneyland Railroad.
Well, the part that we just did over the river is perfection. I've got no complaints so far. But one thing that, and actually it's kind of weird because I noticed
but you can take the second car.
that there was no soundtrack. There was just the,
Yeah, that was weird. It was
just
very
the narration.
really quiet. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it was supposed to be quiet during those parts.
But that was one of the things that I was expecting to have asked for an improvement on, was the fact that a lot of times when you enter a land, particularly Toontown or Main Street, or Oriental Station, there's overlapping audio. There's the music.
Yeah.
There's the narration.
Yeah.
And then there's the conductor, doing his safety spiel. And those three all at the same time, at times can be really grating, because it's all. Sometimes they even boost up the volume of the music.
Yeah, there's definitely lags.
In this case, this guy nailed it, because he actually. I don't know if the conductors control that or not.
It's possible.
But the music was lowered while he was doing his safety speech. The music was lowered, and then he brought it back up again when he was done. Which oftentimes they don't do that. They just talk right over each other. We'll find out again at Main Street.
Land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
Ooh, it's so majestic. Look, Majesty right over here. Majesty. Oh, did you see the tobogganers go by?
Now it's busy.
They're having the best time ever.
Empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking
We got raped by a little guy in the car.
Station right now.
A little guy in a Autopia car was waving at us.
Until we come to a full stop.
Yeah, it was adorable.
Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters.
I was looking at it, but the camera wasn't.
The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. Stop. Remember to gather gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed your travels with us and that you'll come back to ride with us again real soon. For those of you staying with us, we'll be on our way again in just a few minutes. This is me.
All right, folks, once again, we're pulling into Main Street
Well
Station.
done.
Please remain seated till the train comes to a full and complete stop. If you're getting off here with a stroller or wheelchair, be advised there are no ramps, there are only stairs. So keep that thing folded till you get to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, look, Goofy.
Once again, thanks for joining us today. Remain seated till the train comes to a full and complete stop.
Fantastic. They nailed it. Well, two things. Secondly, again, our conductor, this guy right here, nailed it. Perfect. So I'm pretty sure that it's within their control.
Yeah, I think so too. You can turn it down. You can with the
right.
volume.
Now I get why they do. I get why they talk over it because there's not a lot of time. He's got a speech he has to do, and then there's the narration that's being done. But that narration goes too long. I would shorten that narration. Let the man speak. He's got to do his safety spiel. But if you're going to do it like that, then lower the levels, which he nailed. So in that sense, they've already improved it. We're good. Now the other thing that I wouldn't mind. I'm not asking. I don't think it's necessarily be better. Okay, but I wouldn't mind something else besides the dinosaur diorama.
I like the dinosaurs. I'm over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. It is kind of. It's just so like.
I think it's all dramatic. And it goes.
From a thematic narrative perspective, why am I seeing this when I go through Tomorrowland
like
on the way to Main Street?
Animal.
I went from the future to the past to the other past on Main Street.
Well, that's the Grand Canyon how it is today. How
The
we know
dinosaurs?
it. No, the Grand Canyon.
The dinosaurs.
But yeah, the dinosaurs we don't. We weren't alive then.
Why are there dinosaurs between Tomorrowland and Main Street?
Because they're going back in time. Because Tomorrowland, you can go travel through time, like a time machine, space. Right?
Anyway, like I said, I'm not requiring that, but I'd be okay if they put something else in there, something a little bit more, you know, in theme, within the narrative.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad.
Thanks.
We're embarking on a Grand Circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. Watch your children.
And then lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. I'm going to go through it.
Disneyland Railroad.
This
Para sus
the stretch between Main Street
permanezca sentado y
and
mantenga
New Orleans Square.
sus pies y piernas dentro
It's
del
cringy.
y cuide
It's cringy.
Gracias.
The view is nothing.
Our first stop is New
The
Orleans Square
narration,
Station.
the script.
But to get there, we
It's
need
cringy.
to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally.
I mean,
So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. This is New Orleans Square Station. New Orleans Square.
and this, yeah.
I don't understand that either. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Like, what is the...
I mean, Mardi Gras, New Orleans Square. It's just strange. I would like this to be a little longer. I know it can't be, but it would be cool if it were.
Thank you and welcome to the Bayou.
Yeah, I'm just nitpicking, really.
Yeah, let's be real.
I mean, you could not do any of that stuff, and this would still be my favorite ride. So. But I'm just trying to figure out ways to make it better. I mean, personally, I can't see them ever touching the Haunted Mansion ever, like for any reason, to do anything. I think that they're never going to touch it at all. I'm surprised they even did for Nightmare, for the Nightmare overlay. But what about you guys? What is your favorite ride? Tell us ways that you can make it better. And as for that, stay tuned for our next episode, as tomorrow, Liz and I are going to be trying out a couple new churros that we just found out about today, and I can't wait to try them out. We're going right here, guys. We're going right here to this churro cart. Stay tuned tomorrow. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and fresh baked good stuff. Churros coming. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh baked!